Today's Wednesday, it's the 31st of January 2024. I have to keep thinking about the date, I keep getting it wrong. And I'm down on the Paseo Maritimo. Anita's gone off to do her knitting today, and so I'm left to my own resources. I thought I'd bring you a little bit of an update of what's going on here on the Paseo Maritimo. Bit of a funny day, looks pretty dull over in that direction. If I spin the camera around, we've got lovely blue skies over here. That's the way I'm going. So I've managed to get in the car park. It was pretty full today. Normally you get a space there reasonably easy, but I had to wait for somebody to pull out. But managed to find a spot. That was quite lucky. And I've just been up to Sundretta, the old hospital. Made a video there just on the progress that's been made at the old hospital. It hasn't been demolished yet. That's sort of work in progress. But there is a lot of building work going on, which some of it I'd not seen before, so that was something quite interesting. I'm down by the boats now, and this is the port of Palma, so we've got lots of boats here. All shapes and sizes, catamarans, big boats, little boats. And just in the distance there we've got the beautiful cathedral that marks the skyline of Palma. But my main reason really is to bring you down here just to again make a video just showing the progress of the work that's been done along the Paseo Maritimo. It's not finished, not by a long way, and we're not going to see it finish this year, but progress has been made, and it's actually quite noticeable in places, so that's why I've come down to have a look at what's going on. Where I've parked here is in front of the Auditorium. It's the big theatre just in front there, and next month, February, is when we're going to see Jethro Tull, and that's where we'll be going to see a band that I've really liked since the 1970s, I suppose. As a teenager, one of the first albums I ever bought was Thick as a Brick, and I still enjoy listening to that now. Well, in order to cross over to the other side so we can see what's actually going on there, we need to walk up here a way, and that's quite a pleasant walk because we're by the boats. And it's already quite a pleasant promenade, this part, but the idea is to make it more pleasant, I suppose. And the ultimate aim, I think, is to reduce the amount of traffic, reduce the number of cars that come into Palma. And I think as a driver, you can feel that there's constant measures being taken to disrupt cars driving in different parts of the city. So eventually, I suppose, like cities all over the world, they'll become relatively vehicle free. The weather over the past few weeks has been absolutely remarkable. I know I speak about it in all the videos, but even today, with a dull day, there's no sun on me at the moment, even though we have got the blue skies up above. It's probably going to reach 18 degrees. It was something similar yesterday, and we're not expecting any change until next week. Now here's a crossing point. So the work actually carries on just a little bit further, but I'm going to cross the road here and start heading back. So I've got a bit of a wait while the lights change. Well, lights have changed, so I'm going to cross over. I'm going to start looking directly at what work's being done here. This actually, this area here is an entrance to the car park. So there's a car park, an underground car park here, which Anita used to use to go to the concerts with Barbara. And if I just look that way, you can see the progress of the work. It's getting on really quite well. And I'm going to go down this way, if I can. Actually, I don't think I can, I'm not sure. Let's see. So that's the car park. Maybe I can walk down here. Might get a bit dusty, I think. Oops. But you can see now they've actually laid these paving stones, and they're just rubbing the sand in between them so that they can't move. And the progress has been made on the roadside as well. So the pavement here now is much wider than it was before, which will be a big help to the businesses here. So while they've been suffering, in the long run it will be better. It's just a matter of surviving all of this. It's dust being pushed into all the cracks. Lots of people working with hard hats, and we're apparently being allowed to walk in between them. Still needs a lot of cleaning up. I think when it's cleaned up we'll be able to see the colours in this. It'll all look really quite nice down here. But places like the Sakranka restaurant must really be struggling. It's still open though. Sakranka, if you want a paella and you're on the Paseo Maritimo, Sakranka's a place to go. They're a specialist in rice and paellas in particular. And all the tubes coming out of the ground there, someone's got to sort out all the cables and whatever is going to go in there. And then little shops which are struggling to stay open. So this is going to continue to be a road. The trees are there, they're going to stay. They've actually done some protection so they don't get damaged by the workers. And they're getting very close to being able to finish this part off, and they've got all of the blocks there ready to put down. It looks as though they may actually put blocks down rather than put tarmac down. We're just coming now in front of the Auditorium. This is the biggest, I think it's the biggest theatre. There is another big one inside the Palau de Congreso, but I think this one might be bigger. It's where our children have done shows in the past. There's actually two theatres here, a smaller one and a bigger one. It's where Anita comes now to do her, to go and see the orchestra, Balearic Symphony Orchestra, do some of their performances here. There's always lots going on, so great songs of Dire Straits, and then there's Brahms, which is the orchestra. It's their second concert of this year. And that's tomorrow night, so Anita will be down here tomorrow night for the Brahms concert. And just to give you a little taste of some of the other things that are on. Lots and lots of things going on all through the year here. And just in front, it looks like they've almost finished. Yeah. This is now looking pretty good. It's the main entrance to the auditorium. And the outside is looking pretty good. I think there's still a little bit more work to be done. And these cracks haven't been sealed, so that's a bit of dust that's going to occur. You can see how much wider the paving area is, the promenade area. It's more than doubled, I think, in width. Now it's starting to look as though businesses could actually start to use this area. I'm not sure it's finished. I'm not sure the cracks here don't look to me as though they've been properly filled. I might be wrong though. It's Agra Tandoori Indian restaurant. Once they've finished this side, they've got to do the other side. So there's still a long way to go. The other side hasn't even been touched yet. It's this side that they've been concentrating on to get finished so that the businesses can get going. But I can see that we've got a lot of work left to do over on the other side. But I do like the width of this paved area. When they started doing the work here, the apartments all jumped in price. The value of them did, and that's probably not what you would have expected. But I think people could see that this is going to be the place to be in Palma. Maybe not this year, possibly not next year, but looking to the future, it's going to be a really great place, and so people are willing to invest. This used to be an Italian restaurant called Piccola that we used to come to, and it has been totally gutted inside. Absolutely, completely gutted. Wow. And we'll see what happens there. The apartment block here, tremendous amount of work going on there, and this is just the perfect way. But look, business down below can't survive like that. Colmar, been our go-to place. That's undergoing some changes now, so we'll see what happens with that. Somewhere we'd always go to before going to the auditorium when the children had shows on. It was really just a chicken and chips place. It's not a high dining place at all, but gave great value for money, and it was very convenient for the auditorium. We've got some nice hotels along the front here. This is now referred to as the Palma Marina by Meliá. Nice 4-star hotel, and this one's open, so you can come and stay here, but you've got all of this in front of you. And because it's one of the hotels that's used by different events. In fact, visiting football clubs quite often stay in the hotels down the front here. Some of the places, restaurants open. This goes now all the way to Porta P, but I'm not going to go that far. I've just got one more thing I really want to show you. If I can get there. I'm just looking in front of me and seeing barriers. This is Can Pelut. They have been open recently. I think they probably still are. They've got all the tables and chairs there stacked up. Not sure whether they open in the evenings. The terrace is looking clean and the umbrellas are out. In front, well, some places have already closed down there and they just can't function with the pavement completely broken up as it is. So I can't actually go in front of those. It tells me I've got to go this way. This is also a road, so there's traffic this way. And that dirt track's having to be used by the taxis who are going to the hotels. This dirt track's used by the builders who are doing the work here, but for me, as a pedestrian, I've got to follow this way. Stick to the side now, just in case any cars come. And I can walk down here. It's quite a complicated maze to get you through, so you can actually go through that point to get to Kenzo, the cafe bar which Anita and I stayed at before. Had a coffee I think there. I want to go down this way. You can see how they're getting ready to surface the road here. This part used to be a car park, so whether it's going to remain a car park or is this going to be the road, we'll have to see. What is interesting though is the building at the end of this. This building, which is right in the middle of the road. So before there was a dual carriageway on that side, sorry, a road on that side, 2 carriageways, and a road on that side, and then there was a bridge over to this car park in the middle and this building in the island. And this is referred to as the social club. And I don't know whether it was closed for quite a while, but suddenly it seems to have come to life. And they've been having events and lots of things happening. When we came over last time we were down here, the gate was open there and they were having people in for a party. And so this is fully functioning. It's British owned, and it's right in the middle of all the construction work that needs to go on here. It's supposed to have been knocked down last November, so it's supposed to have been knocked down 3 months ago, but it's still here and it's still operating. They don't want to go, or they don't want to sell it. They've been offered €500,000, which you might say That doesn't sound very much, really. This is quite a big plot of land right in the middle, €500,000, but I don't think it's actually to buy the place. I think it's just to get them out of it, because their lease runs out in 2 years, so or 3 years, maybe 3 years. So if their lease runs out, they're paying $500,000 for 3 years of lease, and maybe that's not too bad. But they're holding out for more. The Port Authority that wants to buy it have said no more, and now it goes to the government, and it's going to be compulsory purchased, and the government will set the price, which I guess could be more, could be less, could be the same. So that's what I wanted to show you down here. It's called the Social Club Mallorca. Daily Bulletin actually used it a few months ago for one of their events, but it's now going to be compulsory purchased and demolished. Now I need to find a way to cross the road and go back. And just before I do, just come back this way again. And we were in Magaluf the other day, and one of the things I pointed out in Magaluf was BCM. And BCM has at the bottom of it now a place called Tito's, and that used to be Tito's. It's now Leo's, it's called. Come from Ibiza, and it's like a upmarket nightclub, I suppose you might call it. Not something I've ever been to, but I never went to Tito's either. If I ever get an invite, maybe I'll come and have a look. But it has had events all through the last year and into Christmas. I'm not sure whether it's open at the moment. The hotel next to it is another Melia hotel. This is the Grand Melia Victoria, and the terrace, which you can see just there, is where we met Gok Wan. Well, I got very confused because I didn't know who he was. But anyway, he was over here for breakfast TV, English breakfast TV, and presenting some prizes or something like that. Anyway, we were involved with that, and we were on that terrace. When we were on that terrace, we knew that there was all this work going on down here. It didn't seem to affect us on there. We couldn't hear it, we couldn't see it, and just looking out from that terrace, you just looked over the harbour, and it looked really quite pretty. Well, I hope you found this a little bit interesting, and thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now. And just as a little postscript, I'm on the seaside now, and this is the beautiful sort of view that I was talking about from the Melia Grand Victoria Hotel.
Et que tu me redonnes pas vos livres.